So, guys, the highlight of today is the Q&A with Shelby Paris. So, we're quite excited, Shelby, to have you here. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited to be here.
Perfect, perfect.
Or
Okay,
excited.
so
If I could, if I could just jump in here real quick, I want to tell you how I met Shelby. So Shelby, if you guys don't know how we met, Shelby and I were on an industry panel. I would say I don't even remember what it was. It was either a Why Not panel or an XBiz panel. Shelby, do you remember which one it was?
Yeah, it was why not. It was my
It
first time
was
ever too, so I was like
first
a
night. She was a
nervous wreck.
virgin. She was a virgin. It wasn't the first time I've been with a virgin, but it was an exciting moment in Shelby. So, but I was super impressed with Shelby. I didn't realize she was a virgin on these industry panels. It was a Zoom panel, kind of. I don't even remember what the panel was about emerging technologies. At the time, she was with one of our competitors as an ambassador, and I was like, I was just super impressed with her knowledge of NFTs, the crypto space, and really seeing, adult talent, very well versed in this part of the market, right? Most of them were just kind of like, especially if I've gone through this, a lot of models, you have to really explain in depth what an NFT is and then crypto. And Shelby was just sitting there really educating everybody on the market, and it's like, all right. And then there was a little, I would say, a turbulence with her previous company they were with, and then I took that opportunity and reached out to her. I had her contact information. I think we exchanged emails briefly after that, just kind of, talking to each other briefly, and I was grateful for that opportunity that Shelby wanted to jump ship and come over to Nafty. So, and that's how Shelby became a Nafty ambassador. So, just warm welcome to Shelby. Thank you very much for joining us today. Uh, uh, and very excited to have you. And if we could get started, I think one of the questions I've had, I've never really got a chance to ask you. How did you get into the industry, and then more importantly, how did you really get involved in the NFT kind of crypto space? Right, what made you see this as the emerging opportunity, and what made you say, this is something I want to learn more about? Because I mean, obviously, that it's pretty unique. Most stars are just kind of like, hey, I just want to film content, throw it up there, make some money. But you kind of really seen, I think, the bigger picture, the really where things are going. So really love to hear more about that.
Yeah, of course. So I joined the industry in 2016. Um, I had first started camming, and then I talked to my husband and was like, "Hey, I kind of am bored with camming. Like, what if I do paid scenes?" So then just started reaching out to producers and setting up like boy girl shoots, girl shoots, and all of that um, stuff. And then I believe in 2018, I had met Brenna Sparks, and Brenna Sparks had helped me understand crypto a little bit better. So that was really nice to have. She's very knowledgeable with crypto. It was a little overwhelming at first until you finally get the hang of it and you're like, "Oh, well, this makes sense." Um as for like the NFTs, I had seen some of it um like here and there, like on OpenSea, on Rarible, but I hadn't really seen anything on the Binance Smart Chain. And I had someone from one of the competitor sites reach out to me and tell me, "Hey, like, we'd love for you to be a part of this." And he kind of explained like their vision and everything. And I was like, "Okay, I can join in on this." Because long term, the censorship on on other sites and with MasterCard, Visa card drama. There's just a lot of censorship going on. So with NFTs, it kind of excludes that censorship, and it makes it more, I guess you could say, private for the user on buying or purchasing their favorite videos or content from their favorite models, versus like OnlyFans. It kind of tells you that what company it's from, and if you share a bank account with your wife or your significant other, whoever, they're gonna be like, what is this? What did you buy from this company? And with crypto, you can kind of hide that, which is really nice. It makes it super discreet.
Yeah, exactly. And we're solving exactly this with Nafty art and all the things that we're doing with the social network as well. So we'll be looking forward to seeing more content and more engagement as well from all the adult stars on our platforms as well. So it's a really amazing concept that we're doing, and I I think that it will really make a difference for all the people and all the stars in the industry.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's definitely harder to teach crypto to even investors, but as well as models, because models, we like to see a quick buck. I guess you could say it in the best way possible. If we see how much it is, how easy it is, and how it clicks in our heads, we're like, okay, we can do this. Like, this is easy for me. But with crypto, it's a little bit more complex for models unless they actually understand crypto and see the benefits of it long term. And a lot of these other models that are newer and coming up, they don't realize how long term this industry is, and how you can get so much ad revenue off of stuff. Like with Pornhub, you can get ad revenue, X videos. Like there's just like a lot of things that you could literally just sit at home, do another job, and still make money. And a lot of girls just they don't see the benefits of that right away until uh they have to learn the hard way. I know I learned the hard way a few times, but it's the only way we can learn.
Yeah,
So what do
amazing.
you say when you say you learned the hard way? What were some of the experiences that you said, you know what, I wish I had these solutions now, that once you realize what NAFT and the crypto NFT market can provide you? Share with us some of the headaches, the friction in this business that you've encountered.
Um, well, like for instance, because I know so many people know about like the Pornhub Mastercard fiasco situation, where like they basically made it so Pornhub couldn't, use Visa or Mastercard, which really affected a lot of models. Um, at that point,
Right before Christmas, I might add, that was probably the
yeah,
worst
yeah,
month to announce your revenue stream is going to be dramatically
yeah. A lot of girls, including myself, went from like I'll give like an estimate of 1,000 or more a month, and then we started making $100 to $200 a month. Like you could see the difference of how much that affected a lot of us. And with crypto, I wish I would have joined in sooner, but I was kind of a little bit greedy and didn't see the long term effects of investing into a coin until later on. I'm like, shit, like I should have done this sooner. Like with Bitcoin and Ethereum, like Ethereum, when I had first joined, I think in 2018, oh, I think it was about like $1,000, maybe, or I'm sorry, not $1,000, like $600. I don't remember the exact amount, but I still beat myself up to this day, like, dang, I should have invested more in Ethereum back then, because look at the price it is at now. And that's just like one hard experience. I don't know. There's a lot of there's a lot of experiences we all have to kind of, learn the hard way. watching our investments, reading the white paper, and understanding the tokenomics. Because if you don't understand the tokenomics of a coin, it can drastically affect your bag because you don't know where that
Drastically.
yeah, you don't know where that money is going. Like where's that percentage going? Is it going to marketing? Are we ever going to get marketing? What's going on?
Yeah,
It's
that
just
leads
like
me
how
to
that is.
another good question. Is you probably get hit up, I would say, a lot from other coins and projects. You know, what what do you look at? What are you saying? Hey, this is obviously you're a Nafty ambassador, but I think you're an expert. Probably see a lot of these shady kind of fly by night pump and dump projects out there. I would assume.
So I mainly look. Obviously I'll read the white paper and I'll see if they have a working website. I'll see if I know any of the people. Because thanks to making some friendships, I've kind of learned like who to watch out for, I guess you could say. And who's involved in what with tokens and with just people in general. Um, so I look to see if any of the team is doxxed. If none of the team is doxxed, I won't join. Um, because that means that they are hiding something if they do not want to dox themselves. Like I understand wanting to stay private. I get all of that. Um, but if one or two members of the team can't show their faces and everyone's undoxed, like it's a little shady to me because they can easily rug the whole coin and go away. Um, I
I
have one
I
of
I personally have a big issue with that. Sorry to interrupt you.
no, no, you're fine.
Um, yeah, for me, I have a big issue with that. And a lot of people are like, well, we're in the adult business, we need to maintain our privacy. So I'm like, so you're ashamed of working in the adult industry? I don't understand that, right? So that
Mm,
to me is my number one big red flag. And I don't like when people use that excuse because I don't think there's anything shameful in being in the adult industry, being a part of sex workers, and that attitude and that just further stigmatizes our industry. I think people like yourself, me, George, we're all very smart, intelligent people, and that does the complete opposite and gets rid of that stigma that we're some shady, fat, greasy haired, behind closed doors sex trafficking industry, right? No,
mhm,
you're a smart, intelligent woman who is making a good living doing this. George and I are nice, young, or George is younger than I am, professionals, that, are in a very tech forward industry, right? Helping forge technology, not just for the adult industry, but, you know, to me, the adult industry is going to lead crypto and will be the vehicle, just like the adult industry is the one who will help credit card processing. The adult industry is one that built video streaming. The adult industry has helped mobile content delivery, and crypto will just be the next thing. So to me, when someone's like, oh, I've got to maintain privacy because I don't want my neighbors to know I'm in the porn, well, it's the wrong industry. You shouldn't be in the adult industry, right? So I'm glad you did mention that one. Sorry to go off on my rant, but that's a big pet peeve for me when people uh, in companies refuse to be doxxed and try to remain anonymous.
yeah, you can only stay anonymous for so long, and that's one thing that. So I used to be in the medical field, and I did that. So let me. I started the medical field, I think, in 2011. Joined porn in 2016. I still continued to be in the medical field and in porn at the same time until 20 end of 2018 when I had moved to Vegas. Which is very hard to do, but I did not care what my peers thought of me because it's my body, my choice, and the adult industry has helped it helped make me gain my confidence back in myself, I guess you could say. It helped bring out a lot of insecurities and accept myself for who I am versus hating myself. Yeah, I mean, like, we all have our moments of hating ourselves and just being down, but the industry had really helped influence um loving myself better. But yeah, it's just when I did production assistant stuff for some companies, some of the girls they would be like 18, 19, like right out of high school. And I would, I would talk to them like just normal girl chit chat, and they'll be like, "Oh, but my parents won't find out." And I just I kind of look at them and I have to like be the mom, I guess you could say, and I just look at them, I'm like, "No, your parents are gonna find out." Like, it's just you can't hide it forever. And they're like, "Oh, well, they don't even watch porn." One, how do you know? And for two, there's so many people that gossip, like, yeah, they're gonna find out eventually. And even with people who don't show their face, people still recognize bodies, people still recognize tattoos, people recognize voices. That there's so many different factors on how you can be recognized. So it's like you're still doing a huge risk by not saying anything. And like it's just it's just not like you shouldn't be ashamed of doing what you do. You chose to do this. You're obviously making money off of it. So it's like just enjoy it. What I
Yeah,
call porn is taboo Hollywood. That's basically what it is. Why is it that Hollywood can do fucking scenes on the movie known as R-rated movies, but yet we are shamed into, you know, society standards. Like it's not cool.
yeah, and
No,
also I can,
not.
if you're doing something, you need to do it 100%. Otherwise, it will not work, and you're just wasting time. So if you put your mind and your effort into something, in the long run, and say, okay, I'm gonna do this, and you should be proud of it, and you should do everything in the right way, then this is the path to success. Otherwise, you're going to be an intermediary or amateur in this, and it's not gonna work out good.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's just yeah, it makes no sense. But that's what I look for in crypto is to see who's doxxed and who's undoxxed. Because if a company is not doxxed at all, it's a huge risk for me because they can take my money and they can run. I have a few friends that help me because I don't know how to read B scan that well. I'm kind of a noob at it and reading the contracts and stuff. But I'll have some of them, check out the contract to see if any of the wallets are locked. Um, and if they're not locked, why? Like I will ask in the Telegram channel, like, hey, like, why is this wallet unlocked? And then they'll explain why. And I'll kind of make my decision that way. Um, what else do I look for? But I think those are the main two things that I really look for is to see who's doxxed or undoxxed, to see who's involved with the team, and if the wallets are locked or not. Because I mean, normally if they're unlocked or if they're only locked for like X amount of time, let's say like 2 weeks versus a month or whatever, it's a huge risk because within that time frame, they can easily take your money and run. They don't care. They just got free money off of you. They just became billionaires. Like it's just got to be careful.
Yep,
Yeah,
very careful. Um, one of the things I love that you touched on was really how this industry helps promote this, very positive self-esteem kind of reflection, right? A lot of people think, porn and doing adult work is kind of like this self-hating thing, which is exactly the complete opposite, right? I think a lot of people, when you spend all this time on social media and you're looking at all this stuff, and you kind of like, oh man, you get this, I'm not that good. But I thought, well, that was one of the interesting things I came to light working. Helped work with a documentary called Cam Girls years ago, I think about 2015. But I thought that was one of the great themes that came out of it was, these girls that really had this, the camming and doing, interacting with their fans was really actually, it was a positive, motivational, where they had some poor self-esteem issues, which, I think any young person coming up now with social media had, it's like, well, no, this is actually a very positive thing for me. So I thought that was very interesting that you touched on that, and uh, that you had that kind of similar experience. It's like all of a sudden having some issues, and all of a sudden, then through connecting with your fans, you're like, no, I'm fucking awesome, right?
Yeah, they do remind you. Sometimes, they can be a little adamant, but they do remind you of the good qualities that you have. Because, sometimes we forget, like, oh, yeah, that's right. You know, that's a good point. And they just put things into perspective that you really wouldn't have thought of before.
Now you mentioned you were started as a cam girl, then you started shooting some content. I'm always interested to hear what were some of the favorite scenes or companies that you shot with, and so I know some of our members of our community here will love to look up these scenes and to see a little bit more of Shelby. So that's why I like to kind of throw out some favorite scenes in studios who you've shot with.
Um, hmm. I really like this sounds so cheesy. I really like working with Glory Hole Secrets and Glory Hole Swallows. They're two completely different companies, but they do very similar things. And Blowbang Girls. Like all three of those, like
I'm
those are my
sensing
favorite.
I'm sensing a theme here. There's a lot of blowjobs and things.
Yeah,
That's your thing.
you
Now,
basically
do you
get
is it because you personally like blowjobs? You like the content? Tell me what's going on there.
I'm a pleaser, so I love giving blowjobs. It's just one of those things that I like and that I'm really good at, and I know I'm good at. And that sounds so conceited,
Uh,
and I don't mean it like
I
that.
love the
Just I
it's
know.
confidence. You're confident, not conceited. I love the confidence here.
It's just something that I know I'm really, really good at. So it's just one of those things that I like.
What's the quickest? Since you're really good, I want to know what's the quickest you've ever made a guy come from giving him a what is Shelby expert blowjobs?
Less than a minute.
Wow, a minute.
Mm. He could have just been really horny and haven't, done anything in a while, or just
It was
it
that
was
good.
a lot.
Let's just stick with your confidence and say that you were that good. You were able to get the job done in under a minute.
I try.
Impressive.
I try.
Well, very. Any other studios or scene? Oh, the one I was interested in is you were doing the with our other ambassador Daisy Ducati. You were doing the international lingerie fighting something. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing it here, but I know I've got a bunch of the words right. I just
Yeah,
arranging them.
so lingerie fighting championships.
There it
That is
is.
actually so much fun to do. Um, it's like WWE but in lingerie form.
Oh,
So it's a lot of fun. The last fight was in Sturgis, and that was eventful. That was a lot of fun.
so
Um,
you were in Sturgis. For those you guys don't know, Sturgis is like this really big, massive motorcycle rally that happens. I mean, I don't know, tens, thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. That must have. I assume you
million.
guys had quite an audience. Millions. Yeah, I assume you guys had quite an audience.
Yeah, yeah. So Sturgis is in South Dakota, and I'm originally from South Dakota. So I was basically visiting family there. So it was interesting to see the difference, with COVID versus just regular biker rally during because we went this year, COVID's happening, and not a lot of people can travel. It wasn't as big as I was expecting, but we still had a huge crowd. And it's very nerve-wracking to fight with a crowd of drunk bikers because they're very drunk, extremely drunk. And they just say some of the stupidest things. So you try not to laugh while you're fighting someone just because, you have to keep focused. And it just, yeah. Some of their comments, I'm like, did you really just say that? Like, I'm trying not to laugh at you right now, but okay.
Now, how do you win? Real quick, give me a description. Who you fought and how many rounds and what went down?
So we normally go 3 rounds, and I did 2 fights. So one on Friday or Thursday, I don't remember exactly what day, and another one the following day, and then I refed the last fight because we were fighting for 3 days in a row. So I had lost both. The first one, I had I was put in a guillotine, so I tapped. Um, and then the second one was a pass out from a scissor hold. And if you see the girl I fought, she's she's buff. She's a buff chick. Like I had, it was hard.
So these are real fights, not like a fixed WWE fight. This is real live combat.
Yep, yep.
Can you can you stick your finger in somebody's booty hole?
I mean, no one has, no one has done that yet. But I mean, there are some rules. Like we can't do hair pulls, and there's no face hits.
Okay. There's
Um,
no rule against fingering the booty hole.
Yeah, basically. But I mean, we're on live TV, so you kind of have to like be careful. But with my first few fights, I did do quite a few boob grabs, and I got yelled at by the ref. But that happens.
It
Um,
happens. It happens.
her boobs were in my face. I couldn't help it. Uh,
Is
the second
is
fight I
there
did
is
in
there a
Vegas.
specific move name for that? Like the boob grab? Is it a 5-on-1? 10 on 2? You hear your coach going 10 on 2, and you take your 10 fingers and you grab those two titties and twist them, or they're called the Texas. Are they called Texas titty twisters, or is there a specific name, or just you just say boob grab?
Um, there is no specific name yet, but we can figure out a name for that move because I am gonna make that my signature move.
I like Texas titty twister. I like the Texas titty twister. But you feel you run with it, or you come up with your own one.
Yeah, basically. I'll have to. Yeah, we'll have to think of something.
Did you fight
Mister.
Daisy at all? Did you and Daisy go at it, or I know you guys?
So we're both on the same team,
Oh, okay.
so there's no fighting until one of us gets switched to another team, and then we'll fight each other.
Is when you say team, is this like tag team, or just like, hey, we're on this side A versus side B, and it's a one-on-one kind of situation?
So we got split up into 3 different teams with how many girls there are. So we have a pink team, a black team, and a blue team. The blue team was we did not have until Sturgis. So I used to be on the black team, and then I got transferred to the blue team. Um, I think Daisy actually was on the pink team, and then she got moved to my team. So we could have fought each other, but we did not. But yeah, there's only three teams total. It's like kind of
Now,
like
is there
the USA versus the UK or Europe versus like Spain.
mm. Is there any more future fights scheduled?
Um, Not to my knowledge, but I do know there is some coming up, like probably in December or January. I'm not like sure on the dates yet, but I can let you know.
Yeah, let me know. Definitely.
I mean, they have pay-per-view, or I think on their site actually, you can just sign up for a newsletter and they'll tell you. It's kind of cool. It's fun. I like it.
Yeah, I thought it was an interesting concept. I used to attend a lot of the Kink used to do an Ultimate Surrender back in the days, and those are pretty interesting to attend and watch. So I thought the
Oh
lingerie
yeah.
fighting one was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's actually a lot of fun. When I tell people I'm in lingerie fighting, they kind of give me that look like, oh, wait, what did you just say? And then I'm like, really, like we fight in lingerie.
Duh.
Yeah, duh. Who wouldn't want to watch girls fighting in lingerie? Literally
I
cat
mean,
fighting.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know any of those people who want to be associated with them. Last week we had the lovely Lacey London on, and she was letting us on some insider porn secrets. You have any demystifying or any porn inside tips or anything that the average person probably wouldn't know? Um,
um, oh man, that's kind of, I mean, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of secrets that, or I wouldn't say secrets. There's just a lot of things that aren't widely known. Um, like for on set, a lot of people assume that we basically just fucking leave, and that's not the case. So the girls normally get there in the morning, they get the hair and makeup done, they do pretty girls, and then the guys come on set. So most of the time, depending on the company, they will do sex stills. So obviously you do the pictures in like sex positions, and then you go later on you go to sex. Like the guy has to stay hard that whole time. It can take up to like 3 hours or more. Um
oh wow.
yeah, you can have very long days on set. It just kind of depends on who you work for, what company it is. Like with Brazzers, I know that they have a lot of odd positioning. I wouldn't say odd. It's just very unique positioning where I'm just like, whoa. Which you should not try at home unless your person says it's okay. Um, what else is there? Oh, there actually is a lot of acting like going on in the beginning. Like when obviously if there's like step sis or step bro, like obviously we're not related. But not a lot of people realize that
What? You
you
guys
almost have
aren't
to memorize lines.
people? You mean when I watch Pornhub and I see step brother and sister, they're not really related?
No.
Oh my gosh, Shelby.
I know. I hate to be that person.
Uh, you're gonna ruin Christmas for a lot of people.
Oh, it's okay. I mean,
Yeah,
maybe some of it's real. I can't say, but for me, it's not real.
yeah. What's funny is too is we used to notice when I do sales, I was working with another big VOD company. Right after the big family holidays such as Thanksgiving and Christmas, you would see a massive spike in sales for the stepbrother, all the kind of that themed content. You're like, oh, and so you're like, oh man, you like notice it. And people really love that kind of content right around the holidays. I don't know if they're
It's
sitting around the
because
table. Yeah,
they're seeing their family. Maybe they do have the hots for their
yeah,
sibling that they're not related to. I mean, it does
and
happen.
it does happen. That's for sure. Now, have you ever, you mentioned like guys have to stay hard for like three some hours, and I'm just like, man, I just don't know if I could do that. But that's why I'm not a porn star. We all can't be those guys. Have you ever had an issue where the guy couldn't stay hard and that delayed things?
Yes, it does happen. Um, I mean, it only happened to me like a few times. Normally, I can create enough chemistry between me and the other person where like it's an okay day. There's been a few times when I've been on set just as a production assistant where the girl and the guy literally have no chemistry. So if it's a newer guy and it's not one of the veterans, because the veterans, man, they they're there to do their stuff. They don't care if there's chemistry or not, and then they're done. They get their paycheck, they're good. Some of the newer guys, they expect there to always be chemistry with your partner, but there isn't. We don't get to choose who our partners are. Yeah, we have people on our no list, and obviously we won't work with people on our no list, but we don't always know who we are going to be working with that day. So if we don't have chemistry with that person, you're going to have to create some sort of chemistry. And a lot of the newer guys don't realize that. They just are like, oh, you know what, perfect. Like maybe we can go on a date or something. And just not a lot of girls are there to date. They're there, to fuck, get a paycheck. And most of them have boyfriends at home. I wouldn't say most, but a lot do. And it's just a lot of guys don't realize that. It's just like a normal job for us. We are just doing more physical activities.
It is a normal job, huh?
Well, okay, I
Um,
would say normal. It's more it's a
nine
job.
to 9 to 5 job. Getting back from work. Hey, honey, how was your day? Ah, it was good. Everything fine. Normal working day.
So my husband would go on set with me. Well, I wouldn't say on set. He would go when I would do content. He would come with me. Um, and he would always ask afterward, like, "Oh my God, how was that?" And sometimes you could see by my facial expression, because like when it's like just if the guy's having a hard time, he could tell by my facial expressions I was getting frustrated because I'm a pleaser, and if someone isn't having a good time, it bugs me. So he would give me prep talks, like to help make me feel better. Like, oh my God, you got this. Like, try doing this. Like giving a guy perspective to to help me be prepped for going back in and making sure everything's good.
Sounds interesting.
very
Yeah.
supportive, very supportive, which is key, I think.
Some guys, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's key, and it's awesome that you have a partner that's extremely supportive of your career. Did you meet him when you were already in the industry, or were you guys together when you decided to go in the industry?
So I was married at 20.
Oh, and you are
So
21, 22?
no. I'm above 25. Um
Uh,
I just turned, so during the Sturgis Bike Rally, like a day before, I just turned 30. So it was my dirty 30 during the Sturgis Bike Rally week.
oh, look at you. I would have never, you looked about 25 to me.
Oh, hey, I'll take that. Um,
Thank you.
but yeah, so when I had started camming, he had kind of talked me into camming because at the time so I worked at Subway as well as the medical job. I would go to Subway like at night and work the night shift. And he worked during the day. And it's just like when you work at a restaurant, you don't always make, ends meet, especially with how the living expenses are now, where you, it's hard to be, it's hard to afford a lot of stuff. It's hard to afford, your electricity, especially in Arizona. It's hard to just the cost of living in general is just like it's crazy. So working at Subway, just like it was very demanding and you didn't get paid that great. So he's like, you know what? Why don't you start camming? And then obviously I did that for a little while and then I got bored. And I was like, nope, I gotta do something else. And we talked about it. And that's one thing that is that I really, really appreciate is the fact that we always communicated.
Communication is key for any relationship, whether it's business,
Yep,
personal. So that's awesome to
exactly.
hear that you guys have great communication. Now, as we were getting a 45-minute, 47-minute section of this conversation, I want to take a couple questions. And first, I want to go to our Reddit questions. We have a lot of
Hmm.
questions over here on Reddit, so I'm going to try to get to some of these. First question is from Homie Dude Bro. What's up, Homie Dude Bro? I see you there in the audience. Asked a couple questions, but he is wanting to know is what are your thoughts? Are you excited for Nafty Me? And on a scale of 1 to 10, how big do you think the potential is for this site?
I'm actually very excited for Nafty Me. I like all every single website that Nafty has brought up. It's been very, very good. Like the Nafty art's been great. The Nafty Babes has been great. So I can't wait to see how this platform's gonna turn out. I'm very excited. I know it'll do great though.
Likewise, likewise. I know we're all very excited. I think this platform is going to be a game changer. And I'm very excited to can't wait for it to hit the market.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. Another question here is the user wants to know. I read you like car shows. Can you tell us which type of shows you prefer?
Um, so in Arizona there is oh, I'm having a brain fart on what the actual car show is called. But they have it every Saturday and it's actually really, really big. They always have older modeled cars, and they have the newer model and then they have like the in between. So I like looking at all of them. I own a Mustang. So I have always been a Mustang person and it's my baby. So I love looking at Mustangs and learning about them. And I like learning, about other cars as well. Just kind of depends on what catches my eye.
What year Mustang do you have?
I have the 2015 GT.
Ooh, look at you. And you're a fan of the older Mustangs?
Yeah, so I used to have. I'll probably have to post a picture in the main chat. So I used to have a. Oh gosh, I don't remember which year. I think it was '06
Okay.
Mustang GT, and I put I put vertical doors on it, so like Lamborghini doors. And I used
Oh,
to take
wow.
that to car shows. Yeah, so that was really fun. Um, I like the 2014 or the 2010 through 2014 models. Um, I like that style. I believe that's called the S. The frame is called like S197. Oh God, I don't remember. It's been a while. Um, I like the Fox bodies a little bit. Just kind of like depends. I'm not a big fan of like the 90s ones. To me, those just they weren't that eye-catching.
Mm.
Some of them were beasts though. I will give them credit for that. Like the what they put in for the engines and stuff. But I mean I because my car is a 2015, I'm really liking the newer models, especially with how the engines are in these. It's a lot better quality.
Okay. Okay. What do you think about the electric Mustang? Do you think the brand did justice, or are you a fan of that little SUV looking thing, or what's going on there?
So I was hesitant about it at first until I drove by one and I'm like, okay, that looks pretty sleek. I will have to give them that. But when I think of a Mustang, I think of a sports car. So it is, I'm still indecisive on it. I'm still like, I don't know. I think it's awesome though that they came out with a full electric car. I don't know. I just don't know what to think about the SUV portion.
If you could have any car in the world, I got a magic wand right here, and I said, Shelby, I'm gonna grant you one car. What would that car be?
Um, huh. That's a very good question. I kind of like the Teslas just because
Okay.
some of the older models have lifetime warranty on them. So, I would have to take one of the models that has lifetime warranty. No matter what happens, it has warranty on it. Because,
Yeah,
I'd rather get what I'm paying for. I mean, now
Tesla's a
that
great car.
they are a little bit cheaper now, but back then,
Shelby,
man, that's
Shelby,
so
we don't worry
expensive.
about price. This is any car you want. This is not a price conversation here. This is fulfill your dreams kind of situation. You guys say, I want the
Full
Tesla
on
Plaid.
Tesla. Full on
Tesla
Tesla.
Plaid.
Yeah.
All right. We got another question here from Jinzul, and they said, how much conversation is there about adult NFTs and tokens with other adult artists and entertainers? And is it becoming a normal thing to talk about it in early stages? And have you come across many skeptics?
I'm always coming across skeptics. It can be very difficult to talk to people about NFTs because a lot of them don't understand NFTs. They're like, well, what's the point of collecting these? And the best way for me to
Everyone.
explain it to them is you're basically collecting a card. It's like Pokemon cards. You want to collect them all. It's like artwork. You want to collect certain artwork. It's just something you want to collect, and it's digital, so it's always there. Um, as for models, because they know I'm an ambassador of crypto companies, then they'll ask me about it. And there's been some of them that will talk about crypto and they want to know more, and I'll talk to them about it. But a lot of models, they're not sure of crypto yet. They're getting there. They're being more productive in crypto. It's still difficult to convert them as well as investors.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm noticing the same. What I'm starting to notice with a lot of models is before it was taking most of them you had to explain in great detail what NFT was, and they would still kind of have that like deer in the headlights look to them, right? But now
Yeah.
it's interesting. I'm getting a lot of people that are actually seeking me out, and they're like, "Oh, I heard you guys do NFTs, and you guys are a known company. I want to do my NFTs with you guys." And
It's a
I
niche
think,
for them.
yeah, I think people the word is finally starting to get out there within the last few months among the stars, and while a lot of them don't understand 100% what an NFT is, they at least understand, hey, this is a viable new revenue source for me.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I do have to give models credit like for this on not understanding how to get paid because MetaMask can be so confusing when you first sign up for it and you don't understand it. Same with Trust Wallet. So like I get why they're hesitant, but at the same time, like there is so much potential with investments there that I can't wait for them to unlock it. I'm
100% agree.
excited for other models to unlock their potential with it.
Yep, 100%. All right. Well, I don't want to hog up all the Reddit questions. I know we've got some members in the audience here that want to ask some questions live. So we will, unless you have any questions for Shelby here,
No,
feel
I
free to
think it
jump in.
was very
All right,
very interesting conversation. I really
all
enjoyed
right.
some of the question as
Yeah,
well.
let's
Blew
open up
your
the
mind.
floor.
Yeah,
Oh, blue.
exactly.
I guess you're blowing more than that these days.
Touche.
Touche, my little chickadee. But yeah, I don't know if you could share those pictures of your clucking around outfit, but that was getting crack up. You were cracking me up earlier with those pictures.
I'll post them later.
Post them. You know, you're always ducking around. All right, it's an inside joke, guys. So you guys we'll let you in on the inside joke here momentarily. But in the meantime, the floor is now open. Yeah, please feel free to ask Shelby Paris any questions. So we'll open it up. Who wants to ask the first question?
Don't be scared. I don't bite.
I guess people are scared.
unless you ask very nicely, then she might bite. But no, she's not going to bite your head off. So this is your chance. Ask Shelby, one of the original NFT crypto token ambassadors of the adult industry, here with us live. Your chance to ask her a question. Don't hesitate. She doesn't bite. If nobody has any questions, I can go back to the Reddit questions. So just feel free to jump in here. If not, I'm going to scroll down here and look for another question here. All right, next question comes from Derbs156. Shelby, we all know you have a killer bod and you're super photogenic, but I want to know more. Where do you see yourself in 5 years in regard to the crypto space? And do you see yourself going beyond a creator?
I do. I will always stay in crypto because I just see it as a long-term investment. I do want to create my own like coin, probably like based off of anime or something. I don't know yet. It's up in the air. Um but in 5 years, I mean, so I am taking school or going to school for intimacy coach. Um and that's been a lot of fun. So I do see myself doing that in 5 years, as well as still being heavily involved in crypto. Um So I can see that stuff like interlingering, both being present in my life.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued by the intimacy coach, and I see that as something that's very much needed in our society.
Oh yeah.
What tickled your fancy and said, you know what, this is something I see myself doing in the future, and I want to go seek out some education so I can become a professional intimacy coach?
um it was very difficult for me to find a creditable school. Um but right now I found a really good company and they're called Somatica. And what they teach you is very like not something you'd expect. I don't know how to we all deal with trauma, we all deal with shame within ourselves and with society um and obviously with just everything. So for us to kind of have to relearn of that is it's very like I don't know how to put it into words. It's an experience. Like I'm learning so much about myself at the same time I'm also learning how to coach people and doing all that stuff. It's just I like it. It's fun.
Hello, everyone.
Hi,
Hello.
Greg.
Sorry, please. Who is Dave here?
I think you're breaking up.
Yeah, I didn't hear what
You
you
said?
said.
I said, who is the Dave?
I'm Shelby.
Shelby. Please, I want to speak to the Dave.
Yeah, I'm one of the devs. So if you have any questions, you can PM in. Now we have a session with Shelby. It's like a ask her anything session. So if you have any questions for our ambassador, you can feel free to ask. Otherwise, you can DM me and I'll answer your questions.
Okay, my question is nothing. It's not serious. I have a proposal to make.
Send proposal to George, and we'll DM him, and he'll happily get back to you or myself.
Do you need a mod? Do you need a moderator?
You could send that question to myself or George via DM, and we'll happily answer you. Right now, these questions are for our brand ambassador, Shelby Paris. So if you have any questions regarding her, she'll happily answer them.
I mean, I can private message you.
That is correct. Please private message.
Well, I hear someone's getting into their car.
See, you love those cars.
Yeah, I heard the
Rec-
seatbelt.
recognize that sound anywhere.
Anyone could.
Yeah. All right, we've got another question from our homie dude bro. What's up, homie dude bro? Homie dude bro wants to know if you like gaming and what do you think about the integration of Nafty in like GTA and other upcoming mobile games that can use Nafties and NFTs.
Oh, I love it. So back in like high school, I used to play video games constantly. And then when I moved to Arizona, I kind of stopped just mainly because I didn't have a gaming system. And it was very hard for me to get back into gaming. And I'm just starting to now. So I'm excited to see how Nafty integrates with like how gaming accepts payments and everything.
Very also excited and keep you guys posted. We're also working with a couple of the big adult gaming companies too. So those of you that like to play erotic games, we're working on Nafty Pay integration with those that will help you earn and give you the ability to spend your Nafty on a couple adult games.
Oh, that sounds like
All
fun.
right. Oh, it is. It's going to be lots of fun. Anybody else have any more questions for Shelby? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Or just ask her on the chat, I guess. Anybody? Anybody?
These are all the questions.
Yeah, looks like we're all questioned out. We're at a little bit over our hour mark now. We do have a request for you all. I think we posted this in the chat, but if you guys could all help us out and go to Coin Market Cap, see the little instructional video there, we could use your help to take Nafty to the moon. So that is your all's homework assignment for today. If you guys can get that done here in the next hour, Shelby will post her chicken duck. Is it a duck chicken? She'll post a special duck chicken duckling. She's not quacking around here, guys or gals. So please take a moment and help Nafty out, help us out, help yourselves out. And look at that video. It only takes 10 seconds of your time. and you will be helping us out, help Nafty go to the moon, and we're going to give you a special treat. You will see the duck pictures that I'm talking about with Shelby. So if you
I
want,
mean,
we're not.
You cannot miss
voting.
this offer.
Yeah.
The pictures have been quacking me up all day.
I don't duck around.
Don't duck around. So please, please, somebody will post a video. Please post that here into the chat. Just look at that video for our instructions on coinmarketcap.com. Just takes 10 seconds out of your time. So
I
please
do it
do
all the
that for
time.
us
It's
all
worth
the
it.
time. And Shelby will reward you with these duck pictures.
Yes, I will.
I'm telling you guys, it's a treat. You have to see it. It's funny, sexy all at once. You'll have like a weird laughing boner. It's crazy.
You'll quack up.
Quack up for sure. You want to quack up, then you want to duck up. I want to thank everybody for joining us. I want to thank my lovely co-host George, who always hosts the best AMAs. And then I want to thank our special guest, Shelby. Shelby, thank you very much. This has been a pleasure. I always love you, everything you stand for. And I'm blessed, grateful to be working with you. And I'm so glad that you're one of our Nafty ambassadors. So thank you very much. And then most of all, I want to thank our amazing Nafty community. So give you guys all selves a big hand. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate all of you. And thank you very much. And stay tuned for our next AMA next week with a surprise star. So guys will have to keep guessing. We're going to have a little guessing game here. If you guys can guess the star next week, we'll give you something, a prize or something like that. I don't know. Figure that
Special.
out, but special prize. So don't forget your guys' homework assignment. Again, thanks everybody.
Do your homework or you'll be in trouble by me.
Yeah, you're going to be a homework.
Thanks, guys, again for joining, and have a good day or night, depends where you are based. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you.